I am Gobonde Wasebe, Haji, Secretary of State for Allodium, Moorish, Praedium, Ante Colorado. We're here today to expound on the concept of consanguinity. And you can see the definition here. It is a noun. It says kinship, blood relationship, the connection or relation of persons descended from the same stock. Consanguinity. Now, we have to I'm going to look at this today in the historical context, because we can go as far back as we want to go. But I think let's start with the beginning of time. This planet Earth, Midgard, creates and facilitates human expression as Moors. The original people on this planet have been and are Moors, melanated people with woolly hair. That's what this planet produces in order to maintain its human population. Other populations have come and gone because they have not been able to withstand the changes of this planet. But that's neither here nor there. We can go back to ancient Kemet. The people of ancient Kemet, Hukukta, from the northeast part of the continent known as Amexem, Alkebulan, Africa, are melanated people. They're Moors. The ancient Sabians from southern Arabia, Moors. The Canaanites, the Moabites, the Hittites, the Amorites, Moors. And then we come to farther present, you have the Carthaginian Empire, which was in battle and conflict with the Roman Empire for hundreds of years. Moors. Carthage was in in Iberian Peninsula for hundreds of years. Then they lost it to the Romans. And they went back and forth and back and forth. So our people have been all over that region. The Phoenicians, Moors, traveled all over through the Mediterranean, up the coast of what we call Europe, into the British Isles, into the Netherlands, into Norway, Scandinavia, other places, bringing our people to discover that part of the world. Moors. Now, the bloodline and consanguinity I'm talking about goes back much, much farther. And I'm just sort of throwing ideas out. Nothing's really formulated, but I want you to get the idea that our stock that we come from, that we are descended from, is a bloodline that has been on this planet from the very beginning. So when we look at North America, in North America, when the European settlers or invaders came, what did they find? They found Moors. When they came into the plains area of North America, what did they find? They found Moors. When they were in the West, California, down into Baja, Mexico, and other parts of Mexico, and up into Oregon and Washington, what did they find? They found Moors. And this is all documented. There are writings describing our people and our bloodline by phenotype, by complexion, by hair texture, all of those indicators that are considered racial indicators that indicate Moorish bloodline. Those phenotypes, those complexions have been in the Americas from north to south, east to west, on over to Atlantis, into all of Africa, into Europe, into the east, far east, the Polynesian Islands, Indonesia, Australia. Moors are all over the world. That's our bloodline. That's our consanguinity. When you take a people who have a common bloodline, who live on the land, and then an invader comes and commits genocide, and then steals the land and claims it as their own and begins to give it away in land rushes and all kinds of other devices for theft and thievery and escheat. What you have is a continuous thievery of the birthright of a people who have a birthright claim to land. See, the whole issue of consanguinity has to do with blood. It means that we are aboriginal, that we are autochthonous, and we are truly indigenous. And not indigenous in the sense of being indigent or not being able to take care of ourselves, but being indigenous, indigene to the land itself. Aboriginal meaning we are the original people. Autochthonous meaning that we came from the land itself. We are the actual descendants of the earth, not created beings by a human hand, but we came from the earth and expanded thereof. So in order to track your bloodline, you have to go to your mother's. Your mother's line determines your lineage. My mother is descended, of course, from her mother and so forth. Going back to my great-great-grandmother, who was born during the bondage from 1774 to 1865, we don't know what her Aboriginal stock is. We think that it's Cherokee or Chickasaw, the way that she looks. But we know that that bloodline continues on. Now we know also that there were many Albion men that took advantage of the mothers along the way. And so you have the stock appearing different every generation. But the bloodline, the consanguinity, cannot be corrupted unless by a false contrivance or a false device or a false artifice that is put in place to trick, to deceive, and to delude the people from knowing who they are. So knowing your bloodline, knowing your consanguinity gives you confidence, it gives you strength, it gives you standing, because you understand that where you are and what you stand on is your birthright. See, we don't have to go any place else in the world to know who we are. We go back and talk to our mothers. We find out about our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, our great-great-grandmothers, our great-great-great-grandmothers. Once we find that out, then we are able to put the pieces together psychologically, mentally, emotionally, so that our cranial brain, our heart brain, and our gut brain can all be in alignment. So that we know that we are not crazy, that we're not misplaced, we're not displaced. We've been deceived, we've been deluded. Our birthright is our greatest weapon against oppression. Because the truth of the matter is, no matter what another people does to us, they cannot take away our birthright. They cannot take away our bloodline. They cannot corrupt our consanguinity. And corruption of blood is a crime against humanity. It is to deceive one to thinking that they are something other than what they are. Is to corrupt the blood to the point where another bloodline can come in and assume and attempt to claim a birthright that it has no right to. So understanding this term consanguinity, dealing with kinship, blood relationship, the connection or relation of persons descended from the same stock is essential to knowing who we are. If you have children, and your children don't know where they come from, they don't know where they're going, they don't know who they are, they don't know where their strengths are, they don't know what their weaknesses are, they don't know what pedigree they have, what characteristics are being passed down to them, what's the status of the parents that's being given to them, what value does that have. These are the things our children need to have and need to know so they can thrive in the world. So consanguinity is very important. It's essential. It's a vital element. It is like vitamins to the soul when you know your consanguine nature. Thank you very much.